What is up, YouTube? Here we go with another AMFG. So here we're following our hero, David, and yeah, I'm a little disappointed in this game, but you'll see why. It's a 10-minute game against a pretty low-rated player, 1400. Um, this is the Danish Gambit. I guess you could say it's like the Danish Super Gambit because he gambits 2 pawns. And yeah, I think you should just take. And most people take. Although knight c6 scores better because you're pretty much forcing white to take back sooner or later. But I would take the pawn. Might as well go all out. And yeah, here it's interesting that Engine recommends knight f6, but most master players have played d5, sacking a pawn back, and then trying to at least get the 2 bishops and hurry up and get development, because at least black's bishops are free. And yeah, black's still 1 pawn up, so he's got to be careful, but he should have a small edge. Anyway, here David played d6. Yeah, we could look at the engine's move. Also, knight h6 has been played in 1 game. I'll throw that in the PGN or the file, which you can check out on your own on Lichess. But David played d6, which probably isn't the end of the world. I mean, yeah, d6, maybe bishop e6, trade these guys, and get another pawn to the center. Man, I mean, engine says it's equal, but okay, d6. Let's look at knight f6, the engine's move. Yeah, e5. Can't really move this knight anywhere good. Well, I guess you throw in this check first. Here. Takes. Knight takes. Ah, counterattack. Now you're playing d5. Shoot. One moment. My place. Oh, god damn it, seriously. 1 second. Pause this. Okay, I'm back. I really need to feng shui out my place. Like, I don't know if you ever had one of those outlets that's super loose, where like the damn plug won't stay in it, and if you just tap the table, it'll fall out. So, anyway, yeah, there's some crazy lines. I mean, this is one of these openings you really gotta study because it's black should be better with perfect play, but it's a little risky. So David plays it safe with d6, and his opponent, yeah, makes a bad move. I mean, it's understandable he's trying to open the position, but he's wasting time, and yeah, black can just develop here with knight c6. And yeah, really this pawn is blocking the bishop. It's blocking the attack on this square. If he takes, queen takes, and yeah, where's the queen going to go? I suppose here, but then e6. Any trade of pieces is going to be excellent for black. I mean, I wouldn't want to play this position as white. 3-1 on the queen side. And yeah, this black king is pretty safe. Without that e-pawn to come forward and harass a knight going to f6, yeah. Black is just totally winning here. So yeah, after e5, knight c6 would have been good. And yeah, if white just defends the pawn, you can just take it. Yeah, it's kind of reminds me of Smith-Morra with the knight on d8, except yeah, without queens on the board, you're probably not getting checkmated. You can play f6, kick the knight away. Bishop e6. Yeah, this is nice, just kicking everything back with tempo. And yeah, the king hasn't moved yet, so once you move the knight, you can castle queenside. Yeah, and getting more pieces out with tempo. Remember, white's weakened himself somewhat too. And you could also castle kingside. And yeah, you just have 2 extra pawns on the queen side. So yeah, e5 was a blunder, and knight c6 would have been the answer. Instead, David lashes out with b5, after which his opponent could have won right away with just taking here. Actually, oh, this is interesting. There's 2 moves: queen here or queen here check. And actually, queen f3 is a lot better because now the king has to actually move again. I mean, it's going to be a great position for white in either case. After here, the rook falls. But after knight, queen f3, the king has to move again. Black's not even getting any development. So now this knight is hit. Oh man, did you guys hear that? Really loud thunder. That sounded really close. Anyway, my first instinct would be to play here like in a blitz game, but I mean, take here first, then play queen d5. But taking queen f3 is even better. But David's opponent played here right away, which allowed what David played. Is that what David played? Oh, excuse me. Just take the bishop. Takes the rook, and bishop e6. Queen takes another pawn, and yeah, here David played knight h6. Really good would have been d5. Shutting out this bishop. Now you can develop these pieces peacefully. You never have to worry about g7. You actually have two connected passed pawns if you think about it. And okay, white's taken a pawn over here. But yeah, black has two bishops, and yeah, really these pawns, if you can think about, if you can get the pawn here, then you can get the pawn here hitting the bishop. And remember, two pawns on the sixes equal a rook. So if you can get your pawns like that, you're basically a rook up. So that would be pretty sweet. Yeah, knight h6 is a mistake. And yeah, here again, you still have a chance to play d5. But David blunders here with this move, which allows e takes d. And now there's a threat on the bishop. A threat, pawn takes pawn, forking these two pieces. And a threat here, forking these two pieces. So yeah, bishop e7. In crazy positions like this, you can't just like normally develop a piece. You have to... I mean, these positions are really good for your chess. They're fun. And you can't just play like normal boring chess like a London system or something. So yeah, d5 would have been the answer. Bishop e7 loses here, and now would David do something crazy? He attacked the queen, but this just loses a piece after here. If he takes the queen, he loses his queen. And not only that, he's bang bang. And this is just all over. Plus 10 for white. So let's see, how much time did he? So he spent 5 seconds playing knight c6. And yeah. Okay, if it's a 3-minute game, okay, take 5 seconds. But it's a 10-minute game, so this is a critical position. I mean, really, Onion says the best move is just to give up the piece like this. And yeah, this is pretty terrible. But you still have two bishops. I mean, you haven't let queens be traded down like a piece and another piece. So knight c6 is terrible, but David gets a reprieve. Queen to a4. That allows David to take with the queen, defending the knight. And yeah, here he blunders again. So he spends 8 seconds to go here and lose the rook, but his opponent doesn't take the rook. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in this game. Yeah, but here David's opponent doesn't take the rook. He moves the queen. This allows David to trade queens, and now he's threatening to get his knight into here. After castle, knight c2. Here takes the rook. White can take. Oh, wait a minute. No, don't take the rook. He recommends 98. Maybe this is also good. Rook d1 check. I wonder why. I guess 98. It's gonna be rook a8 because you're gonna take here and then you're gonna take here. And here for check. King c8. The rook's not blocked out. Interesting. And if he takes here, you're taking the rook. And this knight is actually not going to be trapped. So anyway, these lines are pretty complicated, but instead we have this variation. So it should be noted that David's down an exchange here. So knight c2, knight c2 keeps the material balance. This is trapped. Takes after rook a8. Yeah, David's going to win the exchange. There's no way to save it. Move the knight somewhere, I guess. Take the rook. This knight can be taken, but he's white's not getting two pieces for the rook. So, knight's escape, or even bishop f7. That's true. Engine recommendation, protecting the knight. And you can also take this pawn. It's funny that the knight can be protected so much on such a weird square. But anyway, knight f6. Bishop takes, pawn takes. I mean, this pawn is still strong. This pawn could be a problem. But remember, David could have got the pawn on d4. And remember, white sacrificed all his pawns, so these two connected passed pawns would have been strong. So, rook d1, king e7. Yeah, both players. I'm going to just kind of go through these moves really fast. Yeah, white just blunders a piece. But David kind of gets his king in the center. David's totally winning until about here. He should tuck his king away to safety. But instead he pushes his pawn. Now he brings his king closer to the center. And now, oh wow, rook e1 would be a mate in two. That's pretty cute. And it's like a self-mate for the king. The square is indefensible. Well, this, but then rook f4. Or rook here, but then again rook f4. So, yeah. But so David could have got himself self-mated, but instead, and yeah, here king d2, and what is this? Oh, yeah, just winning the rook, winning the whole rook. So yeah, if your king's all the way up, might as well support the protected passed pawn, kick this guy away. Instead here. And I'm just going to show the rest of this for the cool endgame. So here the knight went back, but actually white can weave a mating net with his king, just his king and the minor pieces. So just to show some sample lines. Blocking with the knight, threat is bishop here, mate, and then the rook has to sacrifice itself to stop the mate. So that would be pretty cute to trap the king on h1 with just your king. Yeah, instead, game went like this, and yeah, David brought his king in, and similarly to the other move, he checkmated the king with the king and two minor pieces, so that was pretty cool. But he could have done it more forcefully. Here in this variation, white had it out. Well, not at this point. I mean, f4 was a mistake, but I guess he can just run the pawn. What if white tries the same thing? Yeah, I guess there's no time to bring one of the knights in. All right, well, I'm pretty tired, but I hope you got something out of this game. The main issue was the opening, and yeah, but David still managed to win. His opponent didn't take a rook. Really weird variations, but yeah, in this line, you just have to be very careful, and you can't just do routine developing moves. But e5 was terrible, but then b5 was even more terrible, just knight c6. And yeah, you're just straight 2 pawns up for, engine says 0.6 in compensation, so it's a great position for black. The main second point, oops, that was not the game. Yeah, in this position, get your 2 connected passed pawns. Engine says it's only slightly better for black, but I mean, black has great compensation for being down the exchange. These pawns are awesome. This bishop's stupid. And yeah, black should win this. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you again for some more AMFGs.